This is Stuart from Stuart Scale Models. This inbox review is of the prize that I won on the ISM Live at the Bench show the other week in their prize draw, and I was totally blown away. I have to say, I just put it on the off chance, totally not expecting to win it, and lo and behold, the very first prize draw, I won it. Hee So yes, I was a very happy bunny because I'd had a bit of a, well, let's just say shitty day, so it was a real tonic. Yeah, I've got the M10 Tank Destroyer. It's a new release which has just come out, I think, the last couple of weeks from Tamiya. I've had a quick look at it myself. It's a super looking kit. Level of detail on it is very nicely done. The only disappointing thing, guys, is Tamiya have supplied their new normal usual decals with it, so I shall be trying to find some other aftermarket source of decals. Why Tamiya don't go in for cartograph, I do not know. So Tamiya, if you are watching, please consider us modelers and please get in touch with cartograph, because the decals they supply are far superior to the ones that you supply, because we have problems with film that doesn't go down or they crack, and I've had one happen to me on a kit previously, so hence take note, guys. Okay, anyway, this vehicle itself was developed from a series of armoured tank destroyers to counteract basically the Tigers and Panthers, etc., and Panzer IVs, which were then in production, and to give it more hitting power. It was developed from the chassis of the Sherman itself, hence the similarity on the running gear, etc., and was to use great effect in the torch landings, also at Salerno, and also on Utah Beach in D-Day. Sorry about the noise outside. I think somebody's having a go at their lawn, so bear with me. And also some of the Pacific campaigns at Kwajalein, and also at Peleliu, the Battle of Peleliu as well, with great effect. So there you go, that's the end of the history lesson. Anyway, without further ado, we'll have a look at this beauty. As you can see, it's Tamiya's normal white box art, which is beautiful, depicting the crew in action or on the hunt for, obviously, a panther or a tiger somewhere nearby, with the crew inside. Okay, the kit number, if you want to know, is 353, if I can get that into shot, 3533800. So if you want to freeze frame that for a minute, by all means do. Okay, and it also says on the side of the box here you've got 3 figures and 2 kinds of markings. So there you go, and it's a knit production. And on the other side is the crew, which you can see here. Go into shot. So a nice set of figures there. And on the other side you've got a colour call out of one unit which was used at the Battle of Aachen. Okay. Right, without further ado, we'll get out the booklet and the instruction sheet. You've got the booklet here, obviously in Japanese, and on the inside you've got them interpreted with the actual history of the vehicle, which you can see here in, I think, about 4 or 5 different languages. Okay, I'll just put the kit box aside. Okay. Again, it's Tamiya's usual box art on the top of the instruction sheet, and then obviously you've got precautions like don't eat it, don't sniff it, don't go to bed with it, don't make love to it, etc. Then underneath you've got the colour call-outs, obviously in Tamiya, but again, if you download the Hobby Colour app, you'll be able to convert to whatever brand of paint you're going to use. And then obviously there's a little advertisement for all the tools you can get in the Tamiya range as well. Okay, first off, is the assembly of the whole lower hull itself, all the interior fittings with the floor grills, etc. Final drive goes on as well, and then you've got the frontal armour with the toe arms, etc., which go on the front, and headlight covers. Okay, and I love the texture they've got on that as well, so you'll see. And then obviously you've got the rear panel, and add all the sub-assemblies onto that as well, and then add the frontal armour onto the lower hull as well as the rear panel as well. Okay, next step is to add all the, actually have I jumped one? No, I haven't. Next step is to add the rear final, is it rear drive? God, I've lost myself for a minute. God, my brain's gone. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Well, you know what I mean anyway. Add the sub-assemblies to the rear tray, and obviously the idler section. That's it, my brain just went into I don't know mode. And then obviously down here is the assembly of the running gear, as well as the sprockets, and obviously you've got the plugs to go in as well, so obviously it's workable. And then add all the wheels to the suspension, which is obviously the same suspension as you would find on a Sherman. Okay, so if you're familiar with a Sherman, this is going to not phase you. And obviously telling you down here how to melt the rubber tracks together. I personally won't be using them. Okay. Next stage. They're telling you to add all the suspension units to the lower hull, and then add the tracks. Don't add the tracks, because if you do, you're going to have problems. So I would leave the tracks until very last. And then obviously you've got the assembly of the idler wheel, which goes on the back of the vehicle. Okay, and then on the inside you've got the rear bulkhead which goes in, and obviously it's telling you to put the barrel rods inside with it. Okay, and then you've got the two sides of the turret rings, and you have to cut out the middle part of this sprue before you do so. Okay, and then obviously you've got the sponsons which go on the side of the side plates of the vehicles here. Okay, and then add attaching the sponsons again onto the rear of the upper hull as side plates go on, etc. And then obviously it's indicating the sponsons on the side of the hull here. I think I'm not telling you if they're attaching armour bosses. Ah, right, okay, so you add them on as well. Obviously this was useful when they climbed up onto the vehicle. Okay. Next stage is to add the ammunition racks and the track racks to the side of the hull. As you can see here, petrol caps, headlights go on, etc. Okay, and that's showing you the positioning of the actual petrol caps around the engine outlet. And then obviously you add the headlight covers on to the upper hull, add the upper hull to the lower hull, etc. Okay, the next thing is to add the drivers and the loaders hatch on. Okay, and obviously you've got the optics there as well, obviously when they were using it and the vehicle was closed down. And then you've got the added advantage of having the hatches open as well if you should so wish. Tools added next to the rear of the vehicle, okay, giving you the colour call outs, etc. And then you're working on to the assembly of the gun breech, which you can see here, steps 20 and 21. Okay, nice level of detail there, guys. Okay, and then obviously you're fitting out the turret halves, because it all comes in two halves, so that's going to be fun trying to do that with the seam down the front, but hey, that's part of modelling. And obviously the plugs go in, because obviously the barrel will be added later. Adding all the ammunition packs and storage packs along with the spare shells, and obviously guns, etc. for the crew. And then obviously again it's showing you more detail which you add to the interior of the turret. Okay, and then you assemble the two halves of the turret along with the breech, and they go together. Okay, and you can move the barrel. Okay, next stage stage again is to put the counterweight, which went onto the rear of the turret, otherwise it would have been frontal heavy. And then obviously adding the frontal armour onto the breech, as you can see there, and the various aerials that go on the side of the turret, etc. Muzzle brake goes on, and then you had the one-piece barrel, which I'm quite surprised they've got a one-piece barrel. Oh, you're catching on to me, well done. However, I have ordered a metal one because of the detail inside the barrel itself. Then you add the barrel onto and the gun onto the upper hull. Okay. And then the next stage is you've got a colour call out and guide to the crew. Okay. And then obviously it's telling you how to position the crew on the interior of the turret. Okay. And it tells you you can actually move it because obviously you've got plugs in there as well. So that's good. This is an interesting bit of detail because you've obviously got a little clamp which actually used to load the shell into the gun. So that's nice. There you go. So it's showing you various aspects of how to position the figure or the loader. And then the final process is to add the tow line. Now unfortunately that's string. I'm going to be sourcing aftermarket for that one to make it look more authentic, because those, trying to glue them into the spot the front of the tow cable is a nightmare. Okay, so I won't be using those. And then obviously you've got the M2 machine gun which goes on at the rear of the turret, and that's the final part of the assembly process. Okay, they're showing you how to position it. Right, colour callouts. The first option is of the 634th Tank Destroyer Battalion, 1st Infantry Division, Aachen, Germany, October 1944. Okay, that might be the version which is depicted in the box I might go for. Okay. And then the second option is of the 601st Tank Destroyer Battalion, 3rd Infantry Division, Southern France, August 1944. I don't know if I'm going to go for that one or not. However, what I will be doing is sourcing aftermarket decals because I won't be using the ones in the Tamiya kit. Okay. So that's the instruction sheet we've run through. Now to the most interesting part of the kit. The kit itself. Right, now I've already opened these up because I did a previous take and I wasn't quite happy with it. So this is take 2. Right, let's take this one out of its bag. Again, I think because this was rolled steel, there's not much surface detail. It's very flush, as you can see here. But the panel lines on it are very nicely caught and crisp. Yeah, you could do a nice bit of weathering here with rain streaks, etc. I suppose. There is a little bit of flash on at the front here, which is quite unusual for Tamiya, but it might be where they were starting to rush them out in the moulding process. But again, you can take that down with a sander. That's the only sort of bit of flash I've actually found in this kit. So there you go. The weld seams are nicely done as well. I don't know if I can get them anywhere nearer. Here you are. Hello, something's come up, so if you'll bear with me, I'm just going to go and see what that is. So I'm just going to pop that down a moment, guys. Bear with me. That's on eBay I'm after. Okay. Oh, something that's been dispatched. Ooh, okay. Let's see what that is. Ah, right. My aftermarket tracks have just been dispatched for this kit. So there you go. Next stage. Next set of sprues. It's obviously the main lower hull. Again, rear bulkhead, rear sponson, nice level of detail there. There's quite a nice chance of getting some chipping and wear done on that, so that'll be nicely done. Again, here too, nice level of detail, very crisp. And now obviously you've got escape hatches, etc. for the lower part of the hull. Beautiful little rivet detail put on there. nice and crisp again. Inner part of the plate where you've got the floor on there, very nicely caught. Again, a good chance for some nice weathering on that. And obviously this is your rear panel again with the air outlets for the engine, nicely done, nice and crisp there guys. And then obviously you got your side parts of your turret, again very nicely crisply detailed. Doesn't matter about the interior because you're going to get that packed out anyway. Okay, so that's that one. Okay. Put that back in its bag. I'll put the upper hole on there as well so it doesn't get damaged. There we are. That's that. I did have the optics here. Ah, here we go. There's your optics. Actually, if I pull that back, as you can see here, nice and clear. That's for all your headlights and your vision ports, etc. Beautifully crisply clear. Very impressive. And you've got your M2 machine gun right here. I don't know if you guys can see that. Again, beautifully moulded. Nice level of detail on there. Oh, hang on, it's a little bit out of shot. Hang on. Get it to focus. There you go. Beautifully crisply detailed. I might even drill the end out so you see some authenticity. Okay, there you go. Right, next one. Side sponsons, as you can see here, very nicely moulded. And there's your shells. Again, if I get that into shot, you can see there. Barrel rods, nicely detailed. And then some of your ammunition there for the crew. And the figures themselves, I have to say I'm quite impressed with them. Detail on them is very nicely moulded. The sculpt on the faces is nicely done. If I can get it into shot, you might be able to see. Oops, hang on, let's get it focused. Again, I love the way they've caught the creases on the tunics, because obviously they're wearing winter gear. Yeah, very nicely done. Even the sculpt on the face, I don't know if you guys can see it, it's nicely caught. Okay, again, the other figure as well, probably get a better look at the figure there. Nice level of detail on that figure, very nicely done, so I'm pleased about that. And then obviously you got the breech here as well, nice level of detail on that. Okay, and what I do like is the muzzle brake, the weld detail, sorry, excuse that. The texture on that is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. As you can see, the weld sort of rolled steel effect on it is beautifully caught. There you go. So I'm impressed with that. What else was I going to show you? No, that's about it. Oh, it's on the third sprue. Is it third sprue? Yeah, third sprue. And then obviously this is all the running gear, suspension, upper plates, etc., and the turret ring. Again, ammunition racks here, nicely caught. See that? Let's get it into focus. There you go, guys. There's your sprocket, nicely moulded as well. Final drive. Okay. And your turret ring there, nice level of detail again. The way they've moulded these and caught these is beautifully done. Okay, I'll take you around the other side, you can see better there. There's your ammunition racks which go on the side of the vehicle. Okay, get another look at the sprocket itself. Beautifully done. Suspension arms. headlight covers, etc., toe arms. Yes, very nicely done, I have to say. Okay, next one up. The only thing that I'm disappointed in is the toe arms. Not the toe arms, the toe bars. Oh, that horrible ruddy string again. I just don't know why they don't do the same as Dragon and just supply us with some copper cable. It would be far better, because trying to put these onto a toe arm is a nightmare. It really is. So I will be sourcing some aftermarket gear for the for that. Okay, so let's put them back in the box, bag. And put them down there a minute. There we go. And the final sprue. Again, the frontal armour, they've caught the actual weld process where they've put the rolled steel beautifully. They really have. I don't know if you guys can see it. There you are. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Absolutely gorgeous. Very nicely done. So you haven't got to worry about Mr. Surface or anything like that. It's beautifully caught. Also reminisces of me of the early version of the Sherman that I had. Unfortunately I sold that, but there you go. That was some nice rolled steel detail on that, all along the hull. And then obviously you got your side skirts right here, nice and clear again, crisp. And side parts of the lower hull there, beautifully caught. Up to Tamiya's usual standard. Crew hatches, nice detail on the interiors, was the exterior. Yes, very impressed. And obviously you've got some of your tools on here as well, as you can see here. Oh, hang on, a little bit out of shot there. There you go, guys, so you can get a good look at it. So yeah, very impressive kit, I have to say. The only downside with Tamiya is their rubber tracks, but I will say one thing. Pop that over there a minute. It's like I'm building the Great Wall of China here by the camera, I'll tell you. Is I do like the detail on these tracks. The teeth are nice and clear and very straight, not buckled or bent. And the level of detail on these tracks is very nicely done indeed. But as I say, I won't be using these because they are a nightmare. You paint them, the paint flakes off, and you don't get the natural sag, etc. So hence why I've ordered the metal tracks in, which are on their way as I speak. And then finally, disappointingly, yes, you guessed it, Tamiya supply their own decals with this kit. Why you guys don't do cartograph, I just don't understand. Again, they're horribly shiny, thick, and they're going to be a pig to bed down. So I'm going to source aftermarket for this kit, I'll tell you. I've made my mind up. So that, my friends, is the M10 Tamiya M10 tank destroyer mid-production in a nutshell. I have to say I'm quite impressed with this kit. Tamiya are steadily improving. The only thing I don't like is I wish they would supply different tracks, get rid of those horrible rubber things because they're a nightmare. But I'm impressed with the weld detail on the frontal armour and the muzzle brake. It really is nice, and the crew figures are very nicely caught as well as the detail on the interior, which has got a good essence for a good bit of weathering. So yeah, I'm very impressed. Again, I want to thank Paul at ISM and E-Models for donating this kit. I'm very thankful, and I'm glad I've got this because this is going to be a nice little kit to build. there is an M group build going on. I was thinking of possibly putting this through as my entry, but I've decided against it. I will probably build this sometime next year. But as I say, it's an awesome looking kit. Again, now I would say I hate the rubber tracks. I just wish they would get rid of them in all their kits. They're awful. Suppliers with something like Dragon do, you know. Some normal plastic ones, or better still, something like a link-to-link track, like they did in their mail tank, World War I mail tank. That would be superb. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the review. I know Mike Cohn was particularly interested in seeing this, so I hope you enjoyed it, Mike, and I hope it spurred you to buy the kit. It's worth getting, I will say so. As I say, I will get some aftermarket. I might get some aerial as well for that, or stretch some sprue. But other than that, it's a super looking kit, so I would heartily recommend it, definitely. I have seen it on eBay as cheap as £22, so search on there if you want to get a bargain. But as I say, it's only been out the last couple of weeks, but it's a super kit. Anyway, as I say, I hope you enjoyed the review, so until next time, get kit crazy, happy modelling, and I'll speak to you soon.